Here we're going to learn how to evaluate any power of I. So for example, I to the 63rd. It starts by knowing the first four powers of I. So we start with I, then I squared, which is just, since I is equal to the square root of -1, square root of -1 squared is -1. I to the third is equal to, it's I times I squared, which is I, and then we know I squared is -1, so we get -I. I to the fourth, same thing as I squared times I squared, -1 times -1, so we get 1. So if we start out this problem, I want to focus on this I to the fourth. So I'm thinking about what's a number that's the biggest number equal to or less than 63 that 4 goes into. So 4 goes into 60, so I'm going to break this into I to the 60th times I to the third. Then I'm going to simplify I to the 60th into I to the fourth to the 15th, and we'll keep I to the third. So since I to the fourth equals 1, we got 1 to the 15th times I to the third. 1 to any power is just going to be 1. So we get I to the third, and we know I to the third is -I. If we try another problem, so like I to the 121, again, I think of if a number equal to or less than 121 that 4 goes into. So I know 4 goes into 120. So I'm going to separate this into I to the 120th times I. Then again, so it's going to be I to the fourth. 4 times 30 is 120 times I. So 1 to the 30th is just 1. 1 to the 30th. So we're left with just I.